Welcome back. We are playing Seasons. It's another new game, and we have no idea how to play. Basically, my understanding is we're a bunch of wizards, some crazy looking wizards. I'm some sort of hamster gerbil. He's some sort of dark pussycat.
Really evil looking.
He's like some sort of pumpkin minotaur.
And I'm a terrified looking bunny rabbit.
Right, so
scary.
another victory point game. Here's the victory point track. Which
Well, it's crystals.
Crystals. I don't know what the hell this is. What is this?
It's to count beyond 100.
All right. This is the season track. So winter,
Spring,
autumn,
summer, and fall.
And the way we're going to do it is we roll whoever's player, we roll the dice, and each person starting with the first player will get to choose one of them, gain resources which we add to our track, and bring up our summoning cards, which we then allow to summon cards from our hand. And as we go on to the second year, we can then summon these cards, and the third year we can summon these cards. We've got a communal deck here where we can draw from if we need more based on what our cards do. And as the track ticks on through different seasons, we'll then roll different dice, all giving different resources based on the area. So in summer, the fire is harder to get, or spring, the fire is harder to get, and so on. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the complexity of this game is going to come from the actual power cards that we've got. We've each spent about half an hour drafting our specific cards, which we didn't film because we figured that'd be quite boring, although it was quite amusing.
Especially John cards.
I was just about to say, as a note, everyone starts with 9 cards except me. I have 10. Look, count these.
He had 2 piles of two cards in his hands. He was like, "What's going on?" But yeah, so we didn't film that. But yeah, we've drafted. We've ignored the beginner rules in the rule book. Yeah. We're all veterans of CCGs here, so right. we figure it'll be close enough anyway. We figure it'll be close enough. So Ashen, as a joint winner of the previous game, the bleeder, it's been decided that he's going to start this one. So away we go.
That was season 1 done. That went really quickly. This game is based on a lot of the dice rolls and what you get. So at the moment, Ashton's got 1 card in play. He's got 2 power and some reserves. John had this really irritating rabbit in play, which was moved around, basically shafts people without water.
But the only person that shafted
was you. Went straight around the whole board and went back to him again.
And now it's gone as well, which is nice.
I managed to kill it with my dog.
You see, victory points there are... Oh dear, that wasn't good.
No.
Victory points there are fairly even.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how these come into play. So we can't get into double figures.
It's unlikely.
Yeah. But other than that, so far, it's pretty simple. You just roll the dice, pick your
play some cards.
Yeah, play your mana and stuff. We're on to season 2 now, so we've just managed to get our season 2 cards. And let's see how that goes.
Oh god.
Okay.
Alright, we're down to the third season. A few more power cards have come into play. John's got 2 shit kickers out there bashing everyone back down again, which is keeping him in the lead. We're into winter for the final season, so guys, run more rotation, and then we work out the victory points, and you lose 4 cards in your hand depending on the cost in the corners.
No, it's 5 points per card in your hand,
card.
which is quite bad considering how shit everyone's scores are.
Yeah.
You can see there, Jason's got
12.
2 victory points.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, and he's got a minus.
What, so technically
minus 5.
minus 3.
Minus 3 victory points. Awesome.
Minus 12 for the moment.
Ashton's got minus 12 down there, and he's currently got 19, so he's on 7. So this is the highest scoring game of Seasons that anyone's ever played. Yeah, so there we go. Got some power cards out. Filled up our... Well, except for John, who hasn't got any energy at all. He's just sat there with a load of familiars out and just destroying everyone else's game. But yeah, so there we go.
Alright, so we'll have a chat after the end of the round. Okay, we finished that last round. That was quite a long round. I think actually longer than the whole rest of the game.
Well, we did jump around in time quite a lot as well, to be fair.
Right, so finished off with Martin winning that.
Yay!
On 95. Ashen came second with a massive... Well, his cars brought him up quite significantly, 82.
A huge amount. You see Jason's right down here.
Yeah.
35. Considering at the start of the round, I think he was on 0. He did quite well, to be fair. But
Well, I must have lost about 60 points thanks to John. Over and over, eight.
John had a lot of stuff here that was basically screwing us over and making us lose points every turn, which was lovely.
Meant that I couldn't actually play my Scepter of Greatness,
Due to
which
a
would have
lovely-
given me 15.
Basically,
You would have won.
He'd have won, is what he's saying. But he didn't. Never mind.
Awful.
there we go, that's
One
seasons.
crystal, damn you.
It's kind of got a CCG kind of feel to it, hasn't it? I think
Yeah.
with the kind of the way the cards pan out and things like that. I think the dice, they seem like they're the focal point, but they're really not. I
No.
don't think at all.
I actually think it's almost like 2 games in one. You've got like a bit of a... I'm not really sure why it's called seasons, other than obviously...
It's a gimmick, basically,
Yeah.
isn't it? Or
It
Yeah,
could have just been called Elements.
it's the
Yeah.
theme. That's it.
I must admit it was a very, very light game.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Extremely light.
It's a good one to finish the evening on rather
Yeah.
than start. Certainly.
There's not really much you can do. You roll dice and see what the stuff you get left with.
I mean, that's not to say that there's not strategy or thought involved in there. I mean, we had the drafting at the beginning, so you kind of set up your turns.
Talking about the draw, I mean, the other drafting game that I played was Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
And I liked Seven Wonders to an extent. The only problem is it's like a single player game.
Yeah.
You don't really have
I agree.
effect with anyone else you're playing with. But this one, at least after you had the drafting mechanic, you get to screw each other over.
Absolutely. There was quite a lot of dicking other people over, I think. Lots of cards interacting with other
Not by
cards
me.
and whatnot.
Not by me. None over
No,
here.
but you were the dick rather than the dicker.
I got dicked over, basically.
Unusual for you, actually, isn't it?
But I was playing a nice, simple magic item deck.
Yeah, and boy, did you get the points from it as well. But
Yes, that one card that's 30 points.
That was
Very
30.
simple.
That worked out as 30 as well. So that was 60 points just from those 2 cards at the end of the game.
it's funny, actually. There's quite a daunting amount of things going on in this game as well. Like, you're trying to juggle, what card you're going to bring out, what money you're going to spend, and trying to remember all the abilities and whatnot. It's actually mechanically quite simple, but there's a lot going on that you need to consider.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can really bone you at the beginning is if you don't get those little stars to move up your thing.
Yeah, they're important.
Yes.
That's assuming you know and remember what
Isn't that right, John?
But we do have that little thing there that we can boost yourself up of. I mean, I resisted through most of it. I think it was only the 3rd year that I actually did mine. That's out of needs must, because I knew I needed to match you in the amount of cards you had out. Ideally, I wanted to beat you, but unfortunately I ran out of cards, so...
Yeah, so did I. And tokens as well.
Yeah, we spent all yours putting 3 cards out. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was Seasons. I think it's a good game to finish the night on, certainly.
Yeah, I
It's
thought it was
not
okay.
very heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's good.
It's probably also playable with younger people.
possibly.
Not too young,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think you'd be okay with it. I mean, you don't want to play with Alex,
What's
for
it
example.
sound?
No, yeah.
Box.
My son's a
14
teenager.
plus.
That's what she says, 14 plus. I'm pretty sure that's older than Zolkin, which I thought Zolkin was a lot,
More complex.
yeah, definitely, certainly strategically more complex. But they do have nice big chunky dice. I mean, these things are absolutely enormous. They're about an inch.
Have a hard time
Also-
swallowing one of those.
Yeah, I think you really would.
Or shoving it up your nostrils.
But we can try, eh? So anyway, that's that, and we'll say goodbye to the fearful winning rabbit, who we did meet during the game.
Yeah, he was rubbish.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh no, it was
wasn't. It was pretty
it was
good.
rubbish for everyone else.
So that was Seasons.